Thanks, Skip. The new year is a time of rebirth and renewal. It's a time where we commit ourselves to New Year's resolutions. Most of these involve losing weight or exercising more. And unfortunately, most resolutions fail around January 2nd. But I think it's important to remember the importance of turning over a new leaf at a time when our politics is so divisive and strains our sense of community. I know a lot of Washingtonians were not very happy with our election results. But as I said last month, we will always be a country of small businesses, small farms, and small churches. Those aspects of our society will not change with one electoral loss. And we must always remember that in a democracy, sometimes other people win. The elections are over, and that doesn't change the fact that America faces two looming crises: the war on terror abroad and the financial crisis at home. If we are to confront these challenges, we need to rediscover our ability and our resolve to make difficult decisions in tough times. In order to face these twin problems, we will all have to sacrifice and work together. As conservatives, we must do more than simply oppose the Obama administration. Just saying no to everything is not an alternative, it's not a policy, and it's not what Americans do in a time of crisis. That does not mean that conservatives should abandon their principles. They run too deep and are fundamentally sound. When times call for it, we will need to stand by those principles to make this country a stronger place. What it does mean is that we must respectfully disagree with the Obama administration when he leads us astray. It means that we must respectfully offer alternatives in the many legislative bodies of the United States. And it means that we should challenge ideas, not people. What do I mean by that last statement? To answer that question, let's go back to the last 8 years. Too often, when those on the left disagreed with President Bush, they did so in a derogatory, mean-spirited, and sometimes even ugly manner. President Bush was lampooned as a modern-day Hitler, derided as stupid, and attacked mercilessly despite all of his good intentions and many successes. As we emerge from the Christmas season, I call on conservative Americans to reject that mode of politics. As Christians, we can do better. We can disagree, yet still be forgiving. We can criticize and still be understanding. In times like the ones we are facing, I think it's important to remember the reason we celebrated Christmas last month. We did so to remember the ultimate act of forgiveness. While none of us can ever be perfect in our daily lives, we can draw strength from examples that have come before us. Let's try to hold on to a sense of grace and humility as we gear up for what is sure to be a combative 4 years in American politics. My New Year's resolution this year is to avoid the politics of personal attacks. I will be on this show every month, and I will criticize the things I believe my government is doing wrong. I will offer what I believe to be better approaches to public policy. But I'm going to do so without resorting to the mean-spirited attacks that President Bush so often found himself on the unhappy end of. I think there must be a better way than what we just saw over the past 8 years. I'm Matt Manweller, and that's just my opinion.